Welcome back. It is time now for us to enter into the last session, the Sahasrara Chakra. The Sahasrara Chakra is located on the crown of the head. In Sanskrit, Sahasrara means 1,000-petaled, from the mystical experience of a 1,000-petal lotus blooming on the crown when this chakra is activated. This chakra is closed by discontentment and the attitude of taking life for granted. This chakra can be opened by overflowing gratitude and contentment. A man prays to God every day. "Oh God, I don't have enough money. Please help me to win a big lottery worth at least 10 million rupees. And if I win, I promise you, I will offer you 20% of my winnings at your shrine. If you don't believe me, please deduct 2 million for yourself and give me only the remaining 8 million. All our dealings with God or existence is exactly like this, a mere business. It may not be so obvious in our lives, but if you deeply analyze your attitude of prayer, you'll understand that you are all the time having a business deal with everyone, including God. One day a poor man went to Emperor Akbar's palace. He wanted to request Akbar to give him some money for his son's studies. Akbar, as you know, was famous for not turning away anyone who asked for help. When the man reached the palace, he saw that Akbar was offering his prayers to God. So he waited with the others outside the prayer hall. When Akbar came out, everybody made their requests and received help from him. Only the poor man turned away without asking for anything. But Akbar spotted him and called him back. He asked him, "Why are you leaving without asking for anything?" The man replied, "Your Majesty, I came to ask you for alms, but saw that you yourself were begging." If you observe our prayers, you'll realize that all of us are actually beggars. We simply ask and ask and ask. Our prayer is nothing but a begging bowl. We beg for material things, smooth relationships, for power, for achieving our goals, for physical beauty and what not. We are all the time asking for something or the other continuously in our minds. In fact, we are so much in tune with asking that it has become an unconscious process within ourselves, and we might not even accept that we are asking. We might argue that we are not asking because we don't see it as asking. We see it as a natural way of life. We have become involved in it and therefore unable to distance ourselves from it and see it with a fresh mind. Understand, there are only two kinds of religion in the world: religions based on prayer and religions based on gratitude. The religion of prayer is all about asking God for something or the other. It can be followed by the masses because it is very much in tune with our asking attitude. It is in tune with the conditionings that have gone inside us from a young age. Asking is the prayer that we have been taught from when we were children. It seems like the most natural way to approach God or existence. On the other hand, the religion of gratitude is based on just an overwhelming gratitude from within towards God or existence. It is quite contrary to what is taught to us from childhood. We've been always taught to thank for what has been received, that's all. We've been taught gratitude as a social etiquette, nothing more than that. How then can we be thankful all the time? It becomes too much. That is why these religions of gratitude are followed only by a select few. Only a few meditative religions like Buddhism or Sufism are based on gratitude. These religions have very few followers, but the quality of the followers is high. You see, there is nothing wrong with prayer. But getting stuck in the act of asking while praying is where the trouble starts. Prayer should be used as a jumping board to enter into meditation. A meditation where gratitude becomes prayer and your being becomes bliss. You might think, giving your gratitude can be a social habit. How can it be a meditation? But you will understand what I mean when you actually start giving your gratitude. When you start giving your gratitude, you will understand the value of your life. I tell you, you are only aware of the people who are directly responsible for providing and caring for you. But during all these times and thousands of other times that you are not even aware of, you are helped, protected, and cared for by existence, by the cosmos, by the universal energy. But you always think that whatever was given to you was either because you deserved it or because it was an accident. When you start seeing and feeling the invisible hand of existence taking care of you every moment, you will understand that you are wanted here by existence. Only then you will understand that you are being showered upon continuously by existence. The fact that you are alive is enough to show that existence wants you here and cares for you. It is only when you don't understand this, you feel dull and depressed and keep asking as if you are the most deprived person in the world. If you listen from your being to what is being said here, you'll be able to tune yourself and become sensitive to the wonderful giving ways of existence. Most of us pray with fear to God. You can see mothers telling their children that if they don't do certain things, God will get angry with them. These statements take root in the child at a very young age and give them a wrong concept of God. All these are the conditionings that you give to your child at an early age. When they grow up, they face serious dilemmas because of this. Instead of embracing existence with love and gratitude, they stand apart from it with respect and fear. Religion, if followed out of fear, will not take you anywhere. It will not pave the way for a transformation to happen in you. You might progress materially by the faith that you have in your asking, but you will remain where you are at the being level. The purpose or real fulfillment of life can never happen in the material path. It can happen only at the being level. People who undergo what is called depression of success will be able to relate to what I am saying in a better way. We have discussed a lot about depression of success in the earlier sessions. Religion has to be followed out of deep love and gratitude for the divine or existence. Although society teaches you to worship God in the name of fear, I tell you, never do it. Always pray with love and gratitude towards the divine. A small story. A Sufi master, Junaid, used to pay his gratitude to God 5 times a day. At one time, he and his followers were wandering through some villages where Sufism was not accepted as a religion. In the first village, people accused them of begging and threw meager alms at them. The next day, the people refused to give them any alms. On the third day, the village they passed through was so hostile that the villagers drove them out with sticks and stones. But that night, as usual, Junaid knelt down and offered his gratitude to God. His disciples were watching him. It was too much for them. They could not understand why Junaid was thanking God. They were furious. They cried out, "Master, for 3 days we have gone without food. Today we were even driven out of that village like dogs. Is this what you are offering your gratitude for?" Junaid looked at them and said, "You talk about 3 days of hunger,